There's a moment every driver dreads. You're cruising down the road, everything feels normal, and then you catch a glimpse in your rearview mirror. A thick cloud trailing behind your car. Dark, heavy, unmistakable. Black smoke. At first, it might seem like a small issue, maybe just a one-time thing. Maybe it'll go away on its own. But deep down, there's that quiet feeling. Something isn't right. And the truth is, your car might be trying to tell you something important. Because black smoke is never random. It's a signal, a message from your engine that something inside isn't working the way it should. And if you ignore it, what starts as a small issue can slowly grow into something much more serious. So today, let's take a closer look at what's really going on. Not just the obvious explanations, but the hidden reasons most drivers overlook. Because once you understand the cause, you're no longer guessing, you're in control. Imagine your engine as a carefully balanced system. Every drop of fuel, every bit of air, everything working together in perfect harmony. When that balance is right, your car runs smoothly, efficiently, and cleanly. But when that balance is disturbed, that's when things start to change. Black smoke is often a sign that your engine is burning too much fuel, not efficiently, not completely, just excess fuel going through the system without being properly used. And when fuel doesn't burn the way it's supposed to, it leaves behind something visible, that dark cloud. But here's where it gets interesting. The reason behind that imbalance isn't always obvious. One of the most overlooked causes is something surprisingly simple: restricted airflow. Your engine needs air just as much as it needs fuel. Without enough clean air, the fuel can't burn properly. It becomes rich, heavy, and inefficient, and that leads to black smoke. Think of it like trying to light a fire with too little oxygen. The flame struggles, the burn becomes incomplete, and instead of a clean flame, you get thick smoke. Inside your car, the same principle applies. A clogged air filter, for example, might seem like a minor issue. It's small, easy to forget. But over time, dust, dirt, and debris can block the airflow your engine depends on. And when that happens, the entire combustion process shifts. More fuel, less air, poor burn. And suddenly that smoke appears. But airflow is just the beginning. Let's move deeper into the system. Fuel delivery itself can be another hidden factor. Your car relies on precision when it comes to how fuel is injected into the engine. The timing, the amount, the pressure, everything needs to be exact. When that precision is lost, even slightly, the results become visible. Faulty fuel injectors, for instance, can spray more fuel than needed, or they might not atomize the fuel properly, turning what should be a fine mist into uneven droplets. And those droplets don't burn cleanly. They linger, they partially combust, and what's left behind exits your exhaust as black smoke. What makes this tricky is that the issue might not feel dramatic at first. The car might still run. It might even seem normal during short drives. But over time, the inefficiency builds. Fuel consumption increases, performance drops, and that smoke becomes more frequent, more noticeable. It's a slow shift, not always sudden, and that's what makes it easy to ignore, until it's not. Now here's something that surprises a lot of drivers. Sometimes the issue isn't about too much fuel, it's about incorrect signals. Modern engines rely on sensors. These sensors constantly monitor air intake, fuel levels, temperature, and more. They send data to the engine control system, which then adjusts everything in real time. But what happens when a sensor gives the wrong information? The system reacts based on that data. If a sensor mistakenly signals that the engine needs more fuel, even when it doesn't, the engine will comply. It will inject extra fuel thinking it's necessary. And once again, the balance is disrupted. The result? Black smoke. One of the key players here is the mass airflow sensor. It measures how much air is entering the engine. If it becomes dirty or faulty, it can misread the airflow. And from there, everything else follows. Too much fuel, not enough air, inefficient combustion. It's a chain reaction, all triggered by a tiny component that most drivers never think about. Now let's pause for a moment, because here's something worth asking yourself. When was the last time your car was truly checked, not just for obvious issues, but for the small details? Because the truth is, many of these causes don't announce themselves loudly. They build quietly in the background, and by the time the smoke appears, the issue has already been there for a while. Now let's go even deeper. Another hidden cause lies within the engine's internal timing. Your engine operates on a precise sequence. Valves open and close at exact moments. Fuel is injected at the right time. Sparks ignite the mixture in perfect sync. But when that timing shifts, even slightly, everything changes. If the fuel enters too early or too late, it won't burn properly. If the air and fuel don't mix at the right moment, the combustion becomes incomplete. And once again, that incomplete burn leads to black smoke. Timing issues can come from worn components, stretched timing chains, or problems within the engine's control system. What makes this particularly challenging is that the symptoms can vary. Sometimes it's just smoke. Other times it might include rough idling, reduced power, or unusual engine sounds. But the root cause remains the same: a disruption in precision. Now, here comes a point that many people don't expect. Not all black smoke problems start inside the engine. Sometimes they begin with the fuel itself. Low quality or contaminated fuel can change the way your engine burns. It might not combust as cleanly. It might leave more residue. It might require different conditions to burn efficiently. And if your engine isn't adjusted for that fuel, the result can be, you guessed it, black smoke. This doesn't mean every fuel issue will cause visible smoke, but under certain conditions, especially combined with other small inefficiencies, it can push the system past its balance point. At this stage, you might be thinking, so what does all of this mean for me? And that's exactly where things start to come together. Because black smoke isn't just about what you see, it's about what's happening beneath the surface. It's about efficiency, balance, precision, and most importantly, it's about attention. Let's bring in a second layer of curiosity here, because there's something even more important than identifying the cause. It's understanding the impact. When your engine burns fuel inefficiently, it's not just creating smoke, it's wasting energy, it's reducing performance, it's putting extra strain on components that were designed to operate under balanced conditions. Over time, this strain can lead to more wear, more buildup, and more problems. What starts as a small imbalance can slowly affect the entire system, and that's why early awareness matters. Not panic, not overreaction, just awareness. There's also a subtle psychological side to this. Drivers often get used to gradual changes, a slight drop in performance, a bit more fuel consumption, a small puff of smoke that appears occasionally. It doesn't feel urgent, so it gets pushed aside, until one day it's no longer small. That's the nature of gradual problems. They don't demand attention right away. They wait, and by the time they're obvious, they've already progressed. Now let's shift toward clarity. If you ever notice black smoke from your car, think of it as a question. Not a problem, but a question your vehicle is asking you. Is everything working the way it should? And your role is to answer that question, not by guessing, but by observing. Pay attention to when the smoke appears. Is it during acceleration, at startup, under heavy load? Each detail tells a story. Each pattern reveals a clue. And when you combine those clues, the bigger picture starts to form. There's something almost fascinating about it. A modern car is incredibly complex, yet it communicates in simple ways. A sound, a vibration, a visual signal, like smoke. And behind each of those signals is a deeper system at work. Understanding those signals doesn't just make you a better driver, it makes you more connected to the machine you rely on every day. As we move toward the end, let's take a moment to reflect. Black smoke isn't just a mechanical issue, it's a reminder. A reminder that even the most advanced systems depend on balance, that small components can have big impacts, that what seems minor today can grow into something larger tomorrow. But it's also a reminder of something else. You have the ability to notice, to respond, to take control before things escalate. And that awareness is what makes all the difference. So the next time you see that dark cloud in your mirror, don't ignore it. Don't dismiss it as nothing. Pause for a moment. Think about what your car might be telling you. Because behind that smoke is a story, one that most drivers never stop to truly understand. It's not just a random cloud or a temporary issue that appears and disappears. It's a reflection of what's happening deep inside your engine, where every small component plays a role in a much bigger system. Every movement inside the engine happens in a sequence, and when that sequence is disturbed, the results ripple outward. And ultimately, it's a story about precision, how everything must work together in harmony. Because your car doesn't rely on one single part, it relies on many systems working as one. And once you begin to understand that story, something changes. You're no longer just driving from one place to another. You become aware. You notice the signals, the patterns, the subtle warnings. You're not just behind the wheel anymore. You're paying attention. If you found this helpful, take a moment to show your support. Like the video, subscribe for more insights like this, and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever experienced black smoke from your car? What turned out to be the cause? Your experience might help someone else understand their own, and sometimes that shared knowledge is exactly what keeps small problems from becoming big ones.